safe to redefine what Liquid is made of.
Yeah.
It's now the 4 horsemen with Teddy one of them, and the GOAT.
And the GOAT. That's true. Yeah, I mean, unless something else happens, Team Falcons definitely can take us somewhere else. Hopefully, I'm just hoping, man. 6 games at least. 6 quality cinematic games is what I'm hoping for.
Here's what I predicted.
That's what you did?
Yeah.
Redmar, what'd you predict?
Oh, Game 7.
Game 7?
Yes, sir.
I didn't predict it all. All right, let's jump into the draft here. Again, 91% for Team Liquid over here on this blue side. 16-0. Again, this is their map. Flying Clouds, no one has taken them down. Off it, maybe Team Falcons. Maybe the flight will help them in this one.
They like to fight.
They like to fight and flight.
That's what basically this says for Liquid as they take out the Kalea, the Guinevere, and the Suyo. Oh my god, that ladder pick is something that the Phenom Kyle has been kicking butt with all throughout the season. I'm surprised why teams still give it to him. I love that Coach Snap and Coach Aeon respect that.
Are we going to end up with a Claymore and Harley priority here? You're probably not going to first pick the Harley for Team Liquid Philippines within the presence of the Leomord, but they can get their signature pick for Teddy right away. I wouldn't be so surprised if they just lock in the Claude right now, put some confidence on the young man, his first Grand Finals game, but he said, no, we still want to keep blocking Falcons picks. They pick up the Marcel, and this has been the approach so far for Liquid in the draft. Just a lot of blocks.
Yep, the Marcel's great because, again, you can do a whole lot with this. You can build a composition that's going to highlight this. Again, the Gord has been making waves throughout the meta right now. This ends up working out really well with the Marcel if they decide to go and put that in the hands of Sanji. We'll see if that happens. Team Falcons on the other side can most likely pick up the Claude now. Pick up the Claude, take that away from Teddy.
It has to be. But the problem with that is, yes, you pick up the Claude, but then the Harith with the Marcel actually does very well. Against the Marcel, bad. So I think our Harith is going to be coming in for Tlph later. For Falcons, maybe see if you can pick away a mid or EXP. And it is a mid. Haji on this Valentino was key and instrumental to their victory against Onyx PH yesterday. Considering that the Juice Sin could be a pickup for Team Liquid Philippines, the Eve is good. And that might force them to go for Valentina.
Okay. Valentina, probably the Harith. I don't know if they'll decide to, if they just wait for the jungle pick here, especially given the fact that one or two of the top most picked junglers are banned out right now.
The Harley Leomord trade is still up.
Yeah.
If ever it's going to be the Harley Leomord trade, if Liquid want to block maybe a utility style jungler from Falcons, that would be good. Because the Fredrin is still an option. But Liquid keeps playing defense on their drafts.
Oh.
By taking away some of the best picks of Falcons.
Okay, so are we saying they're playing defense in the draft so that they can have all the offense in game?
Yes. Because when you have a roam jungle duo such as the Marcel and the Fredrin has a lot of space to potentially invade because you're constantly getting information with the Marcel. While of course the Paquito now, Falcons has to consider, number one, picking up the Esmeralda early, but kind of awkward. Then the other option is they rush a Benedetta, one of the few heroes that can match what Paquito does right now in terms of the fast wave clear and fast rotates.
And then in conjunction, you lose out on Kyle's picks.
Yes.
There's been a lot of Esmeralda though too. With the chance that this is also probably a Harith.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna go that way. They'll lock in their jungler, Leomord, you mentioned it earlier. So they lock it in. This is first phase, solid on both sides. There's a clear plan here. I do like what Team Falcons is doing because this goes ahead and it gives them that box. We mentioned this yesterday. It was pivotal in their matchup against Onyx. They needed to go in and fight into that box, and that just happens to be the real-world manipulation with the Eve here.
Yeah, the difficult thing about the Falcons combination is with the Leomord, you want to be able to get early wins.
Well, let's see. We're going to throw it over to the on-ground panel to break it down a little further.
Thank you so much to our casters. And over here at the on-ground channel would be me, Brigida, together with Wolf, our analyst for today. And kanina nakita na natin, isang kagulat-gulat na pag-prioritize ng Team Falcons on the Eve in the first phase. Ano masasabi natin tungkol dito?
I think, Briggs, ito ay parang deny pick as well as parang naging comfort na rin nila na develop throughout the playoffs. Nakita natin yesterday, the reason why they won against Onyx is nung ginamit nila Eve up against the Jushin that happens to be open pa rin up until this point. So, I doubt na mapipili yung Jushin dito. Alam mo, lagi contested yung hero na yon. But in this grand final, baka mag-decide ang dalawang teams na hindi na. Kaya nga, Gord nga yung binaban nila dito not the Jushin for TLPH.
So they will be willing to leave that open. And I think isa rin ito sa mga moments na talagang napapatanong ako kung ano yung mga magiging response ng Liquid in terms of the picks. But just the same, Team Falcons, I'm wondering, since the Paquito is open and the focus is once again taken out, what do you see as a potential response na manggagaling din naman sa Team Falcons for this pick? Kasi wala na rin yung Esmeralda.
Yeah, I think yung Benedetta, na nakita rin natin yesterday. Itong Esmeralda, nakagulat na parang hindi kinuha agad ng Team Falcons despite them having a lot of options para kay Kai. Lalo na katapat kasi Fred rin eh. So, kailangan nilang mag-isip ng iba pa. Like, pag naman yung Benedetta dito, like, what is your actual answer to the Paquito? Siguro, maiiwan sila with Derizla. Kaso, di nila kukunin yun up until lumabas yung Valentina or kung ano man yung mage pick para dito kay Sanji.
And at the same time, I feel like nakita natin kung ano yung pwedeng maging implications ng isang slower paced na EXP lane for Falcons. And na-highlight pa naman sa ating keys to victory na kailangan talagang maging aggressive lang all throughout the early ang Team Liquid Philippines. Even the Atlas though, gets taken out. Bakit kaya?
Well, siguro kasi gusto nilang kumuha ng stationary na mid laner dito. Maybe Akimi, for example, para hindi sila mahirapan kung sali. Or maybe they want to go for Valentina para dito para kunin yung Eve kung sakali. Alam mo yung mga team, sabi nila sa akin hindi daw sila takot sa Valentina kung Atlas sila. Actually, parang mas lamang pa yung Atlas kapag merong Valentina. So I think that could be a consideration here for TLPH.
Yep, great way ang isang Atlas na nakapag-close in din bigla-bigla, magugulat ka na lang, no? Pero here we are awaiting if they will go for the Roam or EXP lane pick. And instead, they go for the Hilda. So I believe this will be a Master Ogwen hero in the meantime. But a bigger question mark for a lot of us right now is what also could be the Teddy pick? Kasi baka yung Valentina, yun na yung maging consideration for Sanji. But Teddy, wala na yung Harit, wala na yung...
Baka mapuwersa silang mag-carry kasi dito para masagutin yung Hilda. But it doesn't really counter itong Eve. In fact, mahihirapan siya dun sa Eve kung sakali mag-carry dito. However, maganda naman yung carry versus the Claude in the laning stage. Another option here is the Bruno. But I feel like mas mag-focus lang sila dito. Kung hard carry, Obsidia could also be a consideration. But there's the carry, as we did say, and the Kimi. Yun din yung mga sinabi natin pipiliin nilang Falcons. Etong Hilda, pwede maging roamer na lang. Minsan the EXP. And you're gonna be looking for somewhere along the lines of an Arlot here para sa Falcons. Kasi meron siyang synergy with the Eve. At maganda siya kung sakali laban sa isang Paquito at as well as this carry. Last option siguro dito yung Benedetta pa rin, pero may damage yung Falcons. But I feel like top option dito, number 1, is that Arlot. Number 2, Benedetta. 3 maybe, they can consider the Terizla. So baka matunaw nga lang, pero yun, one of the considerations din yan.
Yeah, and because of the Hilda, I feel like they will be a bit more flexible when it comes to their EXP lane pick kasi meron naman na magiging in charge nung panggugulo mo talaga in the early stages of the game. And you would potentially expect to see Master Open all over the map, though not necessarily directly, no, na magiging panggulo. But kakasabi ko lang ng gulo, they pick up the glue.
So even when there's a carry on the opposite end na pwedeng mangtunaw nga kapag hindi mo na timing yung second skill mo, magiging glue pa rin ang kanilang priority dito.
Alright. Super fans, you may scan the QR code and predict the match winner correctly for a chance to win 1,000 MLBB Diamonds. Marahaba-haba pa ang ating magiging gabi dito, Wolf. Pero so far, looking at the drafts, kanino ka ba mas papabor sa ngayon?
I like the Kimi and the carry. Ito yung na-expect natin doon sa second phase. Just looking at the banning coming out from TLPH, parang ito yung sinasabi ng draft nila. So, I like this ender para sa TLPH.
Alright, and there we have our drafts locked in for game number 1. San Juan Arena! Papasok na tayo sa ating game number 1. Ibato na natin sa ating mga casters.
We have waited weeks, if not months, to lead up to this point in Mpl Philippines Season 17. We've gone through rivalry after rivalry. Well, what matters now is the clash of the Titans. Let's jump into this best-of-7 grand finals. Game 1, will it be TLPH or Falcons to get the first blood in the series?
It might be a little bit easier here for TLPH to do that.
Hey, flat easy! Gets a shield, forces a flicker out of 40. action the opening seconds of the game.
Yeah, what a good read there, actually. Knowing that he already hit level 2, he went into the bush, flat, to get just a little bit of shield. And since Sanford was still at level 1, he could not take the risk of eating up a combo.
Whoa.
Oh my lord, Open here put down about a sliver of health. What are these Titans up to?
They're trying to poke. They know they have to be aggressive.
Uh-oh, JP put down a 5th. And Falcons are just checking.
Yeah, so as I was saying it earlier, it might be easier for Tlph to get first bloods, and Falcons know this, so they're upping the tempo, they're continuing their invade. As I mentioned earlier, they are taking pages off of Onyx's book with the early game rotations, with the suddens where we thought that maybe that glue would go into the Roam, or excuse me, the EXP, but then they switched it up, which makes it a little bit easier to manage the Paquito as the Hilda. So instead of looking at the center, they look to the side and the presence of the Paquito.
So interesting because, you know, how many times have we seen Ogwin now pick up this glue pick? Whether it was originally planned or they just swerved it out, that's fine. Ogwin, for the most part, he's felt a lot of deaths on it, right, throughout the playoffs so far, and I feel like at the same time, this lineup, this ability to go ahead and bring in the Hilda, to go ahead and allow him and to alleviate some of the pressure on him, will help Team Falcons approach the fights better, because before, it was mostly Ogwin playing up that front side. Flap.
Oh, whoa. Here comes Kyle, holds in Barbiel. Stampedes through the 2 members of Liquid. JP checking range. Ogwin spacing him out. They go for the turtle.
Okay,
Be good.
They go for the turtle. Sanji's around the corner. Doesn't have the traction pulse yet. Flap's really low. So Falcons might have to give this up. There's no Phantom Steed either.
Hodges and RWA pulls it out. And in comes JP. Turtle gets reset. Ogwin put down a 1/3 of his health. No one to mount just yet. So Flap just forced the flicker back. A lot of ult spent by Falcons this early on.
Looks like it's going to be a win for Team Liquid Philippines and Turtle number 1. They don't need to keep the aggression up. They go back into their rotations. I love what I'm seeing from these two so far. It really feels like I'm watching a more chess-like version of MLBB, maximizing every ability, every battle spell, and not giving away a meaningless kill.
Shades of the early exchange from Falcons versus Onyx last night.
Yeah.
There was a team fight wherein Haji also pulled out the other one a little early, which led to the opponent getting the objective. Falcons gotta fix that.
Yeah, he also had some clutch ones, you know, and so Golden Hour going to be used here. Not sure if there's going to be much. It's mostly on Ogwin. He's going to go ahead and survive that again. This glue tanky enough to deal with some of this early pressure damage.
Yeah, Kimmy plus the Marcel together is like a Granger and a Marcel. You freeze up all of those projectiles you've charged up outside of the Golden Hour, then once it comes out, a big burst of damage. So, as awkward as it is for Ogwin, he needs to prioritize the Radiant Armor here. He needs that extra magic defense to survive the pokes coming in from that Kimmy. Despite them, yes, being a Fredrin and a Paquito, you have to look at the magic defense to keep yourself alive.
Yep, over on the gold lane too, you know, we've talked about the whole golden royale that we had here throughout Mpl Philippines Season 17. Super Marco solved that. He, you know, got the upper hand against Severo, who was so impressive throughout the season. And then you have this point where Super Marco on the Claude, the most winningest gold laner, up against a carry who needs more time to go in and build up. But so far, we've seen Claude's just play so well in so many different compositions. Super Marco specifically seems to be handling the lane fine against the carry.
It's good also that despite us ending up with a Fred and Leomord matchup, it's not the, okay, everyone just farm up, manage your lanes, and then let's go ahead and see each other in the turtle. They're still trying to find small wins and skirmishes in the river. More modern style, old school objective-based MLBB. So yes, we might not see a lot of kills, but we will see a lot of action because of those little trades.
Yeah, I think that's why, again, you know, that K2V for both teams, micro is important, but even the macro, the objectives, we've seen sort of an evolution of the, you know, turtle and lord dances.
Neither have to be forgotten. You have to be good on both.
Yeah.
So if Falcons keep slipping up these micro decisions, they're not even going to get to these minute-long lord dances.
Yeah, Sanford brought Flap low, Flap got the recall, and now he's coming back.
Oh, Cloud's in, and there's a golden hour to stop the turtle take. Down to an 1/8 of its health. Ogwin spacing out Carl. Sanji wailing away. RWF Sanji still secures, and in comes Kyle with a Phantom Steed. Now JP very low, gets hit with that momentum to the face, and in comes first blood drawn by Sanji. Kyle falls, so does Ogwin. This is looking bad. Blazing to win at the back line. Super Marco not finding anyone. 3 plus the turtle going over to Liquid.
Just when you thought Team Falcons would pull off that turtle take, they end up losing 3.
Yeah, both retributions coming out early, actually. Carl TZ and Kyle just both had, if I'm not mistaken, maybe less than 100 health on that turtle, which was surprising enough. Sanji being able to get the last hit. So with Team Liquid Philippines getting the last hit on the turtle, they were encouraged to fight. They got that. Now they got a tower up top. They might be able to get a good push down bottom, which means Super Marco's room to farm is starting to run out. Falcons needs to start patching holes here, or Team Liquid Philippines will be able to start stampeding. Considering that this is a Fredrin that is packing the support emblem set, you get more cooldown reduction, and after that, it's brute force breastplate. Even more cooldown reduction, less time getting crowd control. This Fredrin can snowball.
Oh, they baited out a response out of Marco.
Like that.
Goes in BMI through. 4 members of Liquid down bottom. I was about to say, why would they send Marco away preemptively when there was a fight breaking out?
Oh.
Blazing the wet in the face as they take down Sanji. But Stanford knocks out Marco, and the fight continues as Ogwin falls. Flap and Haji wonder, where did Ogwin and Marco go?
Not worth it there on the trade. Super Marco uses Purify, but didn't expect that.
Easy intercepting the back line as Haji gets taken down. Daddy JP finds him, and now they take down Flap. Flap fighting a losing fight here as the turret falls, so does he.
They just don't stop. Team Liquid finds a moment of weakness and they keep pressing.
They are stampeding. We were talking about the Marcel and the Fredrin, a very oppressive duo. They're still going!
Oh my lord, Marco! Appraiser's wrath to the face underneath tier 2.
That is an angry goat if I've seen one.
What just happened to Marco? Oh,
And they still keep going as Haji gets taken down. Hogan does find them out. In comes Flap. This is a losing fight. Kyle calls in, but Bielba gets caught in the golden hour. Oh, how is this going to elapse? As in comes Seti from the side lanes, and they take down Flap. Tlph, 7.5 minutes in, are all gas, no brakes. Not what I mean.
This is the Liquid Stampede we have seen all season long. And they're going to go for Kyle.
Will not survive. Sanford's packing dynamite in his hands.
Way too quickly. After that turtle loss, Liquid did everything perfectly with how they managed the map, with Falcon sending Marco to bot. Teddy was free to push, and you saw the chain of kills. This is just excellence in execution by Liquid. Good old Stampede.
Man, again, looking at this, an 8,000 gold lead around the 8-minute mark is something you don't often see.
Liquid are proliferating gold like they want to buy RAM.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Can I get some of that?
Can we all get some of that? Right now, Team Falcons has had enough of it. They're looking for more.
Butterbeer called in by Kyle. There was just a feint as Liquid looks for more elsewhere on the map.
Okay.
It'll be really tough. Falcons, they have to find this weird balance of getting their utility items, but getting their good items to start chipping away at Team Liquid Philippines. Not easy to use Red 3.
There's the post, and Flap taking a face full of hits from Sanji. JP looking to catch him in the Platinum Snap, and they let go.
Yep, they're going to let go of that one, but again, they're going to go ahead and get a turret. Whoa, Sanford!
Kyle running away from Terry Bogard.
Got the combo!
Gets his man. Sanford finds another, and they continue to pressure. Carl Easy, Praser's Wrath. 3v4. Falcons not going to force the issue here. Ogwin caught out once more.
The jabs and the combos are so clean from Sanford on this Paquito.
It's poetry in motion. It is the greatest orchestra you've never heard, yet you see. You feel it in your soul. Yes, I gotta glaze Liquid right now, because what the hell are we seeing? This is some beautiful execution from Team Liquid. Macro, micro, everything is going perfectly for the cavalry.
You have to look across the board in these lanes here, just how massively ahead every single department. At this point, Team Liquid has game one under wraps. You know, this is so difficult for Team Falcons to keep up with because you're going through this kind of deficit, this kind of difference in economy that even if you're trying to go ahead and send your frontline guys, they're just punching bags at this point. They're sure kills for TL.
Everything that follows from here is just procedure. Unless something goes very drastically wrong for Liquid, Falcons are not going to come back from this.
Yeah.
Haji only has a glowing wand still on the way to his second item. Even a divine glaive would not help him out right now. A massive lead between the two gold laners with Teddy sitting at over 2,000 against the Claude. Still doesn't have the Trinity, but even with the Trinity up, you're still going to be waiting for the next item after that. what Liquid has done here is an evolution of what we've seen of the double marksman, double carry style of strategy, because they have an EXP laner that is much more high damage dealing and fast at rotating. It speeds up.
Okay, Aji pops that real world manipulation in hopes to defend. Sanford's inside, compromising Flap as they switch targets over to the inhibitors. Falcons can keep their inhibitors. Liquid is taking the disciplined route.
Yep, they'll keep them up. Base turrets, though, did take some damage here. TL, with this kind of lead, looks to go ahead and potentially take down base turrets off of this, too. They know the RWM is used. We'll see if Haji gets it back. There's the mid turret going to be worked on.
Kyle taking hits from Sandy. Down goes that mid lane inhibitor, and Ogwin gets annihilated. Super Marco blazing duet. Backwards as the golden hour is brought out by JP. Teddy takes down the bottom lane, top lane left. The only bastion for Falcons. Their base is about to get stormed.
Got the wave in mid. I don't know if I can recall seeing this kind of lead in the Mpl Philippines Season 17 yet. 14,000 gold under the 12-minute mark is absolutely insane for Team Liquid on this Stampede in Game 1. Team Falcons hold on to one base turret. What do they do here? Is this one of those situations where you have to start just thinking, we got to go again?
Yeah, they have to turtle it out, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're already thinking, oh, go next.
Yeah.
See what we can do so that we don't end up with that kind of lineup again from Team Liquid PH. And, well, if you want to look back at history with gold gaps like these, Falcons is the only team in MPL PH history to make a comeback down 16,000 gold. Was that 2 seasons ago or last
Against
season?
Aurora.
Yeah, against Aurora. Do they have another DNA, but then this Liquid team is just different, man. This lineup, it's way too difficult to make a comeback through. Again, it's a double carry with a somewhat carrying the EXP.
Oh, RWM trying to put down JP. Ogren gets the mount, they pick off Daddy JP. Flap gets taken down by Teddy, and Super Marco barely survives. One for one.
They just want to chase Ogwin down. At least that move right there buys Team Falcons some time in the game.
Oh, there's the pulse thrown out to cancel the conceal. Ogwin with the split.
Oh,
just
Ogwin.
wasting time here.
Yeah.
Throws out the glueling. Krabby Patty sits, and he's already wasted more than a minute of Liquid's time. I think this is mission accomplished for Ogwin. Hey, one more! Ogwin does the impossible! A 1-for-1 trade! Where the hell did that come from?
That's only the 3rd kill. They're probably not going to get a lot of it. But holy crap, Ogwin, that was pretty cool.
That was the most Patrick Star thing I've seen so far. Uh-oh, Flap.
Another pulse thrown out. Flap just scrambling to get into a bit of brush there. I'm still not over how he did that.
Hey.
There are Falcons to my right and then behind us laughing.
Yes.
They're probably thinking we're still probably going to lose this game, but at least we got that.
At least we got to see that. Hey, maybe this is brings it to a point. Could Team Falcons go for just the Hail Mary play and try to take out the Lord and the Retry steal?
Hey, they shaved off 3K.
They did. Small baby step.
Gotta mean something.
Small Patrick step in the right direction, man.
Imagine what if that is the turning point of a comeback? I mean, probably not, but cool. Falcons can't even get any opening of the map because Liquid are still taking care of their map. They realized that Falcons would still want to get the tower up top, so instead of sending a 5-man around the Lord pit, you don't need it. They keep Sanford there, and Sanford was more than enough to stop Falcons from trying to even push up top.
Yeah, I like this. Of course, the build that Sanford's going, because we've seen a couple different versions of the Paquito right now. So he's just got the wings, the Oracle for some defense, but he's able to go ahead and pump out enough damage too, just because of the damage items he got.
In hindsight, most Paquitos just build the same way at the end.
Yeah.
It's just what you prioritize first. And here, Sanford said, you know, I'm going for knockouts. He started to build damage first. Now, Liquid looking to siege at that tier 3 up top. Count easy very low. Left easy looking for it. In comes Butterbiel. Blazing duet by Marco. Compromising one and goes easy falls. Golden Hour able to save him. RWM finds no one as Kyle falls before anything else could happen for Falcons.
Okay, so Falcons keep going on the Fredrin. Wait, hold on, sorry.
Conceal use. JP going for the back.
Going for it. There's a tracking shot. Lord still standing. Super Marco and Flap use everything to try and take care of this wave. The Lord wailing away. Sanji blasted the members of Falcons, and that's it. Liquid are first to the board. Take it, game 1.
Dominant. Almost a bit of a stumble there, but they started galloping away. So what I was saying earlier was the Falcons, seems like their play there was, they realized it was the Fredrin that's been a big thorn to the side of the Claude. They went on Carl TZ, forced him to use Appraiser's Wrath, which is when we saw Super Marco use Blazing Duet. They expected to get more kills, that's why they used big ticket ultimates. But without those big ticket ultimates, they didn't have enough to clear the waves and take down the Lord fast enough, leading to Liquid taking game 1.
Yeah, again, this was a dominant game for Team Liquid. Yes, there was about one play that we saw from Team Falcons there from Ogwin to be able to convert a kill, but it just wasn't enough. You're too far behind. You know, we're talking about 10,000+ gold deficit at this point. Tlph controlled the entire game from start to finish. And for Team Falcons, they're going to want to go back to the drawing board going into game 2 because, man, Sanford started things off right from the get-go. That first wave, that cut that he went for with Flap, you know, trying to make things happen. It's this Paquito that turned that early aggression in favor of Team Liquid. 7-0-5. This guy had something in his gloves, man, I swear.
That's what I call a PSP, Peak Sanford Performance.
PSP.
Yeah,
Oh.
he was locked in. No deaths, 71% plus kill participation.
I thought it was Peak Sanford Paquito.
No, that's better.
That too.
That's better. Let's go with that. Cool.
Hey, you know, I got you, right? 7-0-5, man. But Paquito was great. I think, just like Leo mentioned, you know, when you had that kind of start, you go Hunter Strike first, you get the damage first, and then you go with some defensive items, and you saw this, man. His combos alone, the champ stance utilization, the mobility that comes in the kit of Paquito was showcased here perfectly, and that's why, again, this Paquito pick has popped up time to time again, especially towards the playoffs here. And it's working for a lot of teams. The Hilda isn't bad or anything. It's like, it's just one of those cases where this composition that Team Falcons brought to the table was slowed down so quickly because of this. How do you breathe when you're getting pushed in on your turrets?
You mentioned a very key word, Joseph, slow down. I think Falcons forgot how to slow down because that's what this lineup needed to do. Sure, they were winning a good chunk of the early game trade in the gold lane, and then, you know, they were forcing Sanford to act weird and flicker early, but I think they took those small wins as a clear sign that maybe we can fight. But Liquid just said, no, you don't do that. Not against this kind of lineup.
Yeah. Aggression is good if you get to check out things from your checklist. If you just start forgetting to check out some key waves, key areas, not getting vision in certain bushes, not marking the Paquito, which is weird to me because Falcons, when they drafted against Onyx yesterday, where they showed up with the Kufra Esmeralda to deal with Kirk's Paquito, clearly they know how to deal with it and they respect it. But in this game, I feel like it was a little bit more also just Sanford being way too hard to read. He was getting crafty with where he was coming from. His combinations would be coming off of weird angles that maybe Falcons just didn't expect that he'd actually be there because they checked it prior.
Which is only made possible because of the sudden surge in gold lead, right? It's because of these, how do you say, cascading effects. If the early game, I don't want to say mistakes, but if Falcons did die so much in the first like 7-8 minutes, 40 wouldn't be able to do those weird flanking assassinations. I think that's the main problem. We've seen Falcons suffer this kind of loss throughout Season 17 already.
That's why that, you know, with certain compositions like this, you're able to go ahead and just keep pressing on the gas. And Team Liquid does that. There's a reason why they went the way they did to the grand final. If they find that weak point where you're just down and out, they'll keep pressing it.
It makes so much sense. It's literally nature. You ever see a falcon fly backwards?
No.
No, but stallions can gallop back, you know.
That's true.
Can they? In like when people play polo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, polo.
Back up.
Oh, that's true. They reverse.
Exactly.
But a falcon, how does a falcon reverse?
Exactly.
Flap his wing reverse?
No, it can't.
He can't.
Yeah, it has to like do a complete turnaround. Yeah, stallions can do a little like, call it equestrian.
There you go.
Where it does
a bit of the turn.
Yeah, where it does a bit of a sea walk.
You know why he knows this? Because he polos on Saturdays.
Yep.
Oh,
Sir,
man.
it's on Sundays.
Sorry, my bad.
Golf is on Saturdays.
My bad.
It's after yacht mornings on Sunday.
I'm feeling pretty poor over here on the right side of the desk right now.
No, I'm not allowed in the yacht club anymore.
Hey, you know, Team Falcons, that's right though. They couldn't backtrack from this. They